Saturday night.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture
with Cassie and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Off to a late start, but we are live. Okay, there we are. A little late today, but we are here. Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. We come to you every Saturday night. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, our pop culture kids, as we talk all things pop culture. We usually pick a topic and kind of dwell on it for the next, 45 to 55 minutes or so.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, yes, that's what we do. So, how are you this evening, brother of mine?
I am just dandy. Just dandy. How are you?
I am well. All well in the
sister of mine.
neighborhood.
I am good. How are you?
All good. I've been broadcasting from my bedroom, and this week I'm actually broadcasting from my studio. So I have not set it up completely. So it's still a little rough, and I still don't have my camera set up. So I'm using my MacBook camera. So, quality is what quality is. So we'll get it together. We'll get it together soon.
So let's dig into some pop culture. Because lately we've been starting out with some pop culture news.
Okay, so for some pop culture news,
let's talk about Michael Moore.
You are so right. We are going to start off with some pop culture news. If I can get the right layout in the background, that was my bad. For some pop culture news, and it looks as though he is saying that the Tuohys, the family that took him in, evidently made some false claims about adopting him, and evidently they didn't, and he is now suing because the money that they make from The Blind Side, I guess he didn't see any
of it.
Any of it.
I mean, okay, he's a pro football player. He has his money. That's beside the point. The thing with it is that he was saying that, hey, Steve, he was saying that they made him sign a conservatorship, and they did not adopt him, which was in the movie. They could adopt him because he was too old, but the family itself, because they had an interview with the son. I saw an interview with the son, and they seem all surprised by this because they say, "Oh, he already knew that this was what it was, and this, that, and the other." And I think I remember when the movie first came out, Michael Orr saying that that's not really how it happened. Of course, with a movie, they're going to take certain liberties.
Oh, of course.
Because you got to make it interesting. You have to make it interesting. So they're going to take some liberties on a movie. But he's saying it didn't happen like this at all. And I didn't see a dime from it. And what they're saying, they didn't make any money for the movie. Now, if he didn't make any money and they didn't make any money, somebody's lying.
Somebody's lying.
You mean to tell me somebody's lying? Do you mean to tell me Sandra Bullock plays you on TV and you ain't make no money? You ain't make no money.
Well, again, now that it is possible that they didn't make money. I'm not quite sure I believe that, but yeah, I don't know. I thought the movie was based on, if the movie was based on a book, was he the author of the book, or did he have rights on the book that the movie was based on? Because I would think that's where he would have gotten his money or his cut on that story.
I need to find out. I'm sorry, it's my bad. I need to find out who wrote the book.
Okay.
But if they wrote the book, then they made money. Mm-hmm. I don't think he wrote the book. Because he didn't like. I don't think
it wasn't an autobiography. The Blind Side wasn't an autobiography. Now I tell you what, I totally disagree with. I totally disagree with, and I don't know whether it was Black Twitter, Black Twitter, or who.
I like those too.
Was calling for Sandra Bullock to give back her Oscar, and I was like, "What?" Michael Orr files a suit against this family, and because she won an Oscar for playing this part, she's got to give it back. That I do not agree with. That's
I'm be honest with you,
crazy stuff.
This is one movie I've seen.
Okay.
And I wasn't a big fan of the movie when I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
It was something about her character that Sandra Bullock played, the Miss Tui. It just annoyed me. It's like, okay. I think I'm a person who, like, lives off of intuition, especially when it comes to people. And when I saw this story, I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's something we're not knowing here that happened here. Like, when I'm looking at it, I think that's why I didn't like it too much. There's something here that's going on that we don't know about. Because this seems so surface. I know it's 2 hours and you can't get into it. But this seems so surface, this movie.
Here's the thing. You're and again, she can only play the character that they give her. She can only play what's written on the paper. And the fact that you felt, I guess, moved by the performance enough to think, oh wait, there's some more subtext to it or something that they're not showing, just to me is a testament of some good acting, and that's what you get an Oscar for. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the backstory of the people who the movie or television show is based on. It has nothing to, that whole thing, because it sounds like there is something to that story. And according to this lawsuit that Michael Orr is coming out with.
Don't get me wrong. I like Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra Bullock as an actress. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love Sandra Bullock as an actress.
I'm a huge Sandra Bullock fan.
She is not on my Taylor Swift list. Sandra Bullock is nowhere near my Taylor Swift list. Okay,
I still can't. You don't like Tay Tay. I don't know what that's about.
I don't like Tay Tay, and I don't like that other dude. That other dude that sings. What's his name?
Justin Bieber.
Guy with the red hair. No, I don't like him either. But the other
Oh,
dude
Ed
with the red hair,
Sheeran.
I don't like.
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, I don't like him either. Yeah, they can both kick
Why?
rocks. But anyway, so
Okay.
Sandra Cars, I got issues. I don't get into it right now. But anyway, Sandra Bullock, I love her as an actress. She's great. I don't know who else was up for awards that year she won, but I hope it wasn't somebody who should have won the award instead of, because it just wasn't an award-winning performance to me. The movie wasn't that great, so I don't know. But in any event,
to me that's an Oscar. To me, that's an Oscar thing, because a lot of times there are actors who put out these great performances. For example, Whoopi Goldberg in The Color Purple, and for whatever reason they don't win, but they wind up winning their Oscar for another performance, which to me might not be, in my opinion, their best work. And I don't think her work in Ghost was necessarily her best work, even her best comedic work. But they gave her the Oscar because I feel like they missed that opportunity to give her the Oscar the year. I think The Color Purple didn't win. It lost out to Out of Africa in just about every single category. And so a lot of times I think people wind up getting awarded for maybe a body of work and not necessarily their best work. I don't know whether Halle Berry in Monsters Ball was necessarily her best work. So same could be said for Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side. It might not have been her best performance, but again, for a body of work, I think the same thing probably could be said of Julia Roberts. I don't know what she won an Oscar for, but I don't know whether it was necessarily her best work. Oh, I'm having a little issue with my mic cord and might need some replacing.
The thing of it is that, and here's the problem. You ask anybody, because everybody's seen The Color Purple. You ask anybody.
I saw The Color Purple. It made me blue.
I know it made you blue. You ask anybody.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, I know.
We always get,
and I know where you got the joke from.
We always get Bruce Willis reference in, and there I throw in a good one, nice and early, and you don't give me any props.
I know. But anyway, The Color Purple. And this is the problem. This is the problem with some of these award shows. If you ask somebody on the street, because everybody, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, doesn't matter. Everybody's seen The Color Purple just about. Everybody knows what happened in The Color Purple. But you go out and you can ask somebody, oh, what happened in The Color Purple? Did you see The Color Purple? But if you just tell somebody, hey, what happened Out of Africa? They're going to be looking at you and go, huh? What? Out of what? Oh, that was a movie? Who was in that? Sigourney Weaver? Oh, no, I don't know nothing about that. Color Purple? Everything you do is going to come back to you. I ain't never asked for nothing from you. I never even asked for your hand in marriage.
You're sorry.
Everybody know that.
Hand in marriage.
Everybody know that. Nobody know what happened Out of Africa. What happened Out of Africa, Catherine?
I had a student who could quote me that whole speech from The Color Purple. It was a treat. But in any case, we have to see. We'll have to see and stay tuned for what happens with this lawsuit. I just want to go on record. I don't agree with the calls for her to give an Oscar back because of everything that's going on. I think there was something going on there, and he probably didn't get all the money because I don't know, the way it was portrayed in the film, it seemed like the family did have a bit of an agenda. They tried to paint it as, here they're doing this good deed to help. Yeah.
It seemed like the way the movie went, it seemed like they pushed him towards football because they knew he was a big guy and probably had the talent and could make something of himself from the football, and they can make the profit from the football. Because at first, he didn't know how to play football. In the movie, if you go by the movie, he wasn't really interested in it. And she had to tell him what to do. So, I don't know what that's just what, to me, I'm like, you can't tell me the two is like, oh, we didn't make no money from this. Come on, man.
So
Come
yeah,
on.
there was probably tons of money made.
Yeah, we can bleep this out later. But if one thing rich white people know how to do is make more money. You can't tell me they make no money out of this. Anyway,
all right.
Our topic today.
I gotta just let you have it because I need a money.
Okay. And I want to tell my TikTok followers also. I'm on TikTok live and they only see one side of the conversation. But if you want to see two sides of this conversation, please go to Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture on YouTube and Facebook, and you can see the whole show, the whole two parts. We're live Saturday night at 8:30. We do this every night. So if you go to YouTube or Facebook, you can see both sides of this conversation. But right now on my TikTok followers, you're seeing one side of it. But right here on YouTube, you guys are seeing the whole thing. And tonight we're going to talk about the celebrities who done good deeds in the past and the deeds they've done. And I've got a few. I've got some list. And I was talking to my son earlier, and he gave me even more people and more things that they're doing. And the things, oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that. So we're going to talk about the good deeds that are done. Because we're always hearing about, the media trying to swing celebrities through the mud and things like that. But there's some good people out there. And all that mudslinging is not necessarily not worth it. But everything you hear about Donald Trump is true. But these are the good people we're going to talk about.
We're going to talk about some good deeds. And Kenny, I tell you, it was kind of a crazy. I might have to go off again if this microphone cord keeps acting up, because I might have to replace it out. Because I don't know if you hear that static. I hear it, and it's driving me.
I don't know if anybody listening can hear the static. I don't hear the static.
I hear a little bit of static.
Yeah, I don't hear the static.
Okay, maybe if I pull it around, and it's probably my fault because I went and set up everything within the last half hour, and see, yeah, I can't.
Right.
I can't
so
even
I'm on
this
Kathy Can
microphone
Explain
right
Pop
now.
Culture on YouTube and Facebook. So come follow me on YouTube and Facebook and check out Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. You'll hear the whole conversation, but you'll probably hear my sister. I'm sorry. I'm still on talking about TikTok people and everything else. But we're going to talk about the good deeds. Now, sometimes you hear bad things about people themselves. And I want to straighten the record out for one person who is a very loved entertainer to most people. And some people still, even though this man is passed away, some people still want to bash his name. But I'm going to talk about Michael Jackson for a minute. Michael Jackson has donated lots of money to United Negro College Fund. He has done a lot for Make-A-Wish Foundation, and he has given millions to disadvantaged children, disadvantaged children. This is a man who's given a lot of money to a lot of people that he didn't talk about, and that's what I like about it. Like, you didn't know. All you thought Michael Jackson was doing was, changing the color of his skin and getting facelifts and everything else and getting nose jobs, but that's not all he was doing. He was being very generous, especially towards children with his money. No, I'm going to be honest with you. He wasn't taking advantage of these kids. He wasn't doing anything that he shouldn't have been doing to his kids.
You don't know that.
You
weren't in the room.
I'm going to say I wasn't there to see it. So you can say I don't know that, but my gut feeling is telling me this man was just a guy with a different childhood and a different raising. But we're going to give a birthday shout out to Nick Gunn.
I think that's Gurr.
Nick Gunn, we're going to give a birthday shout out to you. Yeah. Huh?
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, Andy Two-Tone Frazier. Yeah, happy birthday. Right. Happy birthday to you. Okay,
no,
so.
Don't do that.
No? Don't do that?
No singing.
Okay, don't do that.
Thank you. All right. But
so now another person.
But that was one thing you didn't know about Michael Jackson during his lifetime is the amount of money he donated to the United Negro College Fund and the other things that he did. But again, even his legacy is being kind of overshadowed by again, the allegations and the things that have come up since his passing, or even before his passing, there was a lot going on with them, bringing charges against them and everything else.
And I'm on team Macaulay Culkin, who told people, like, Michael all the time, man, there's nothing weird. He just had a different upbringing. He was a different type of guy, like, you know.
And again, I know because he didn't have a childhood, I think a part of him never grew up. So I can imagine, yes, he probably did want kids around him. But again, I would hate to think anything, bad was going on.
We're going to move on. The next person I want to talk about who passed away is an idol of mine, my personal idol. One of the reasons I get on stage myself, and one of the things I do that I do, Prince. When he passed away, because he's a very private person, when he passed away, nobody knew all the things he had done. And a lot of these things started coming out. He donated to the family of Trayvon Martin when that happened.
Oh, wow.
He helped create Yes We Code, which teaches kids about technology and coding, like inner city kids. And he put money towards that. He also helped create Green for All, teaching people how to live green. And he did a lot of concerts in places like Chicago or New York or something like that. And he did a lot of concerts in places where help was needed. And he used the money for concerts like Chicago and Baltimore to donate to the community.
And I think a lot of his philanthropy also extended to his hometown of Minnesota, home state rather, Minnesota and Minneapolis, and some of the things that he was known for. And again, not the showy, flashy things that we might know him for, but I think that's also what makes a celebrity good deed such a good deed, is when it's done without the fanfare, without a press release, because I think a lot of times when people are throwing their good deeds in and taking pictures of it, and you wind up seeing shots of it or layout about it in People magazine, I'm not quite sure whether it is a truly good deed or just something that's being done for the pull of publicity.
Yeah, there was a lot of times after he passed away, you would hear the stories. There's a lot of times Prince would invite the people in his town, because he was from Minneapolis. He would invite the people over for a free concert. Or,
nice.
He would rent out a whole movie theater in the town and have people come in and watch a movie. So he's a very giving guy. Van Jones told a story about when Lauryn Hill was sentenced to prison. Prince called Van Jones and said, "Where are the kids?" And Van Jones was like, "What? Lauren's got to go away. Where are the kids? What's going on? Like, what can I do to help the kids?" So this is the kind of guy he was. He's very giving. And towards the end of his life, he became a Jehovah's Witness. So, he had a little bit more religion in him. The next person I want to talk about coming up is,
I like the way you said it.
Me,
he had a little more religion in him. Like that's something you pump in,
it wasn't
intravenously,
What can you say? The next person I want to talk about,
he had just a little more religion in him.
Just a little bit more religion than me, The next person I want to talk about is a hero.
That's
to
my
me.
brother's heart.
And this is Steve Buscemi. I said that right?
Steve Buscemi. Mm-hmm.
Steve Buscemi. Now, before he became an actor, he was a firefighter.
Awesome.
He happened to be in New York, like you were, when 9/11 happened. And when 9/11 happened, he suited up. And by this, he's done a few movies. He has started, but when 9/11 happened, he suited up and went back to his old firefighting unit so he can help people out during 9/11.
Oh,
I mean, I should save that one for last, because that was that's like
wow.
It's like a cake topper. I don't know why I didn't say that for last, but that is like a cake topper right there. The man, a big celebrity, and I'm not saying because he's a big celebrity, he was out of it, and he's got all this money, but he suited up because people needed help. And 9/11, one of the things about 9/11, the positive thing, there's nothing positive about it, but one of the things that came out of that is that we had a sense of America, and we had a sense of togetherness that I'm going to tell you we lost over time with different things politically that's happened. But we had a sense of America.
No doubt. I always hesitate, or I know for a couple years after that, I really struggled on a 9/11, and it's weird because some years I feel totally fine and okay, and some years it is a real struggle. It was over 15 years before I even went back down, even though I had been to New York before, I hadn't been to the downtown area. And
Right.
when I went to do a bike ride with friends, Judy and Natalie, we were at the starting point of the same bike ride I did in May of 2001, which was 4 months before that tragedy. And one thing, like you were saying, yes, you had this sense of America, like people were waving their flags, and there was a sense of pride in being an American. But also living in New York at that time and being a New Yorker, it was, to me, amazing. The heart and soul of New York, I think, really came out, and how we treated each other and interacted with each other. I like to tell people that even though I lived there for over 12 years, I think I talked to more strangers in the weeks and days after 9/11 than I had the whole time in the previous 12 years I was there. And there was just this sense of just community. We were all experiencing this trauma, basically, and we were all experiencing a form of post-traumatic stress. And I just remember the days after going to donate blood and being online for like hours because so many people were out online waiting and wanting to donate. And then just the tragedy of not having survivors from those buildings to donate to. So the fact that Steve Buscemi, who again is embarking on this acting career, and even back then was pretty well known, to just disregard all that, put on the uniform. It's almost like in some professions, once you do it, you always have that in your bones.
You
I
go
think
right
the
back.
same is true for
Yeah.
teaching and for firefighters. And because we had lost so many, we better move on this list
Yeah.
because I'm
Okay,
about
let's
to
move on.
tear up.
Let me tell you, let me interrupt 1 second. Let
Sure.
me tell you my favorite scene of Steve Buscemi.
Okay. What's your favorite Steve Buscemi
The
moment?
scene in the beginning of oh man.
It's your favorite scene and you don't know the movie. Pop culture card
It's
revoke.
on the tip of my tongue. The one he did with Antonio Banderas. When Antonio Banderas played the guitar.
I'm not letting you out.
Oh, let me out! Let me out! Just that scene. And he goes, not you guys. Like, like, oh man, what is that movie? Okay, let me move on. Because it's going to come. Where's Ed when I need him, man?
Desperado? Was it?
Desperado, that's it. Desperado.
But
Getting
for it
seen
to
in
be your
Desperado.
favorite movie, you have no clue.
It's not my favorite movie. It's my favorite scene.
Or
I
your
like the movie.
favorite.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. It's not Magnificent Seven. It's not Magnificent
Right.
Seven. They're not the new one, because I like that too, but the 60s, 1960 Magnificent Seven, the original. But anyway, let's move on.
I think I liked him best in what was that? Now
Armageddon?
you're making me blank out. The movie
Armageddon?
with what?
Armageddon?
Oh no, not Armageddon. I know it's iconic and classic, and everybody loves Armageddon, but Armageddon, Independence Day, all those movies, you could just pile on a big old pile of dung for me because they just
Wow.
don't do it for me. I'm
Wow.
sorry. It's not
You
a
probably like
popular
Don't Look
opinion,
Up, didn't
but
you?
it's
You like
mine.
Don't Look Up. You
I
like Don't
well,
Look
I
Up
like
with
I love Steve Buscemi in Con Air. My favorite Steve
Oh, yes.
Buscemi
Yep.
moment is
Yes.
definitely from Con Air when they're on the plane and singing Sweet Home Alabama, and he goes, define irony.
Irony,
That,
yes.
my friends, is the best
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi moment.
Yeah. It is,
And
okay,
if
I
not
give you
that
that.
moment, you can pick any moment from The Big Lebowski.
I've
I'm
never
out.
seen The Big Lebowski.
What? Well, you've never seen The Big Lebowski?
I've never seen The Big Lebowski.
Dude, we are
I've never seen
revoking your pop culture card. You know
Why?
what? We
I've
need
never
to
seen
end
The
the
Big Lebowski.
stream. We need to end the stream, and you need to go watch The Big Lebowski.
Okay.
It is John Goodman at his best. Jeff Bridges is the dude. Oh, come on. Anyway, I don't even know
let's
how
move
we're
on.
related some days.
So
I
2
really
weeks
don't.
ago, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, there was a tragedy down in Maui.
I think it's still ongoing because right
It's
now,
still ongoing. They're still finding
with the
bodies. Let's pray
wildfires,
for
the
them.
death
Yeah,
toll is now at
the
100.
fires. Let's pray
Okay,
for them.
I guess you're going to keep talking.
I'm sorry.
I know it's like you don't even listen to me, but go
Okay, I'm
ahead, keep
sorry.
talking.
The
I noticed that
wildfires. Let's pray for them. There's a lot going on over there. However, when we're talking about good deeds, one of the things I saw like the second day of this tragedy was, and I know she gives out a lot of things on her shows and does good deeds. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. But Oprah Winfrey was in Maui because I think she has a lot of property there. And she was in the centers handing out food, blankets, pillows. And she was just like an ordinary person. Like,
you get a pillow, you get a pillow, you get a pillow.
That's not right. That's not right. That's wrong. That's wrong, man. You know what? That's just wrong.
But that's what happens when you're dealing with tragedy. There's some people who can really deal with it, handle it, and do so maturely, and then those of us who have to make a joke about it. But no, I know there are also people who are taking advantage of folks because of that tragedy in Hawaii, and shame on you if you are taking advantage of the folks who are living there and trying to buy off their land just so that you can convert it into some, Airbnb type deals, and that's just slimy and disgusting.
That's the afraid that's going to happen over there because so much property got burned, and some of this land there is generational. And they probably don't have insurance, and they probably don't have like the proper documentation because their families had that land for a whole year. Somebody's going to come in and buy it and then sell it off and do whatever, and that's going to be the tragedy of it. So
yes. So shame. Don't
shame on
do
you.
that.
Shame on you.
Okay.
I've
right.
never even wanted to go to Hawaii.
I have. I've never been
a lot of people always
to Hawaii.
And
I'd love to go to Hawaii. I'm
like,
going to go one day.
Really?
Yeah.
Hawaii? It's in the middle of nowhere, man.
Oh, yes.
And every picture I see of it doesn't look like the sun is really shining. It looks kind of cloudy.
Well, right now, the clouds are coming in because California is supposed to get massive rain. So the Southwest is about to get hit with it. So hopefully one day we will wake up and realize that, yes, there are things going on with the climate. And yes, we probably should do something about it. But I love people talking about, save the earth and all that kind of crap. And I'm thinking, the earth's going to be here. It's been here for a couple billion years. It'll be here. Now, us, on the other hand, we might not make it.
We might not
And
make it.
And it's probably our fault.
We might go the way of the
take that.
dinosaurs because, hey,
Hey,
it's us
we're
messing this
doing
up
it
for us.
wrong.
Earth to be here. Earth to be here. We
Earth
just
will be
ants.
here.
We just inhabiting this thing. So
Us, not so much. Okay.
let me talk about heroism. Because
Okay.
Jamie Foxx, we all know he went through a big health scare recently, and all of it has not been released. However, there was a time when Jamie Foxx pulled a man from a burning truck and saved his life.
Oh, I remember that story.
So an accident happened in front of his house, and he went over, called out, and he went over to do something about it. And the man was in there. He pulled him out the truck, saved his life.
Nice.
I wonder if the guy who got his life saved realized it was Jamie Foxx and said, "Can you do a Ray Charles impression for me?"
I'm sure when you're at death's door and you're in that panic situation and not thinking about it, the last thing you're thinking about is actors and their acting or even getting an autograph. But maybe you are thinking about it. So we'll let you spend a few minutes thinking about it while I spend a few minutes thanking you guys for hanging out with us on Saturday night. It's Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. We hang out here every Saturday night. You can visit us at kathyandkenny.com. That is our website where you can find out all our shows. These shows here, we cut it down. I take out all the parts where Kenny says Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and it's uploaded as a podcast that you can listen to on Spotify, Apple, and all those podcasty places. You could also hear the show on Tuesdays, twice on Tuesdays, on 101.5 Who's Got Next Radio. And we're happy to be a part of that family as we, again, continue to broadcast. I think we're over 300 shows strong. I need to get an official count on how many shows we've done. But I was just doing the few plugs. And again, finally, to support the show, it's easy, it's free. Just take a like button to our stream and a subscribe to Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. We're trying to get into some double digits on subscribers on the brand new channel. So please take a minute to subscribe, hit that bell notification. That way, when we do go live, you will get a notice and your Saturday nights will be set.
And tell a friend. Tell a friend. Bring them along. Saturday night, what else you doing? We'll be done in like a half hour from now, and you still got time to go. You
got about 20 minutes. So
see a movie, hang out with your girl or your dude, whatever you want to do.
Alrighty. So, well, who else is on your list in celebrity good deeds? We're talking about celebrity good deeds tonight.
Let's talk about what we always hear the stories about. The nicest guy in Hollywood.
Tom Hanks.
Okay, the second nicest guy in Hollywood.
Tom Cruise.
No.
The nicest guy in Hollywood not named Tom?
Yes.
Oh, Keanu.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is known for taking the subway. He's known for taking pictures with fans without having a fuss. He's known for being very down to earth, very human. When they did the Matrix sequels, he took $75 million from the Matrix sequel of his paycheck and gave it to the SFX team because they wouldn't be able to do that without them. He wanted to make sure there was equal pay all around. So Keanu Reeves gave them that. And then he bought all the stuntmen Harleys.
Oh, nice.
I can't do a stunt, but I wouldn't mind being a stuntman on Keanu Reeves movies just to get a Harley.
Have you ever driven a Harley? Have you ever been
I've
on a
never driven a
motorcycle?
Harley, and I could have had a motorcycle back when I was young, but you and Mom blew it for me.
Okay, because they call them donor cycles anyway.
Yeah, I know, but I was in college at the time. Pop-Out was going to give me that cycle, and if I had a motorcycle in college, oh my God, my cool points would have went up to here. The women would have been all over me, but you messed it up.
Yeah. Okay. So, however your delusional college dreams work, God bless to you. But in actuality, no, I've been on a motorcycle and, as a passenger, but never like by myself riding a motorcycle. I don't know if I have that kind of, I don't know if I have that in me. I can barely ride my bike. Right now, my bike is like hanging up on a rack because it's in desperate need of repair. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm motorcycle people. Although I wouldn't mind being like van life people. I think I could live in a van.
Really?
Yeah.
It
looks so fun on YouTube.
My best friend Beth.
Uh-huh.
I never talk about my best friend Beth wants to get an RV and just travel around the country in an RV.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I think
who
that
are
would be
you,
so
Billy
cool.
and Mentor?
But again, the only bad part is the gas. I don't think I could deal with the diesel, and especially when I go out and see that it's like $5 a gallon. But if I could get like a solar powered or an electric like van, I think that would be the coolest thing, to just go around the country in an electric van. Of course, you'd have to stop every 3 hours to charge up, but hey, you see
Yeah,
in
well,
this,
you would.
you see in the country, I throw some solar panels on that bad boy so that all my electricity and things can run and just travel. Maybe that'll be my retirement plan. I'll sell this house, get a van, and just see the country.
When I retire, you know what I'm gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Lay around in my underwear and read comic books.
Oh, hashtag life goals. God bless you, brother. All right, let's go on with
right now. I should have did this when I talked about Michael Jackson and Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Tupac Shakur.
Tupac.
Rappers and hip hop stars, they get so much bad rap. And the thing about it is, there's other rappers and hip hoppers like LL Cool J does the same way. He takes the kids out of the inner city and takes them to, at least he used to. I don't know if he still does it. Takes kids out of the inner city and takes them. He funds the same way they go out into the country and they go to camp. And Snoop Dogg has been known to coach sports teams and little league teams and things like that. Tupac had a fan who was terminally ill. Tupac flew to Maryland to hang out with this fan. And then the fan passed away. When the fan passed away, Tupac changed the name of his publishing company. The fan's name was Joshua. Tupac changed the name of the publishing company to Joshua's Dreams.
Oh, nice.
To honor his fan who's terminally ill and passed away. So that's the fact that he took time out of his schedule to fly to Maryland, because he's probably in California, to do that. That's I walked into a sad moment. Oh, I'm sorry, Nerd Affiliate. I'm sorry, Hey Archer.
Hey Archer, joining us. Hey.
You should have been here. Look, you should have been here 10, 15 minutes ago when I was making funny.
No, when you were confessing that you've never seen The Big Lebowski, which I think
why
is
you
a
gotta
big
bring
problem.
that back up? I've never seen.
If you're going to be pop culture,
why do you have to bring that up? Why you bring that up in front of somebody like Hey Archer? That and that's wrong. You know what you just did. You know what.
Well, if you're going to talk Steve Buscemi, again, aside from Con Air, which to me is the most memorable Steve Buscemi on air moment.
Is on the chat going, bruh.
Bro.
It is like, we're done, Kenny. Like,
See, there you go.
Yo, you put me
what
on
kind of nerd are you if
on.
you've not seen The Big Lebowski? That's all I'm saying. Just throwing
We're
it out
done.
there.
He's in the chat going, we're done, Kenny. It's over. Because I haven't seen The Big Lebowski.
He didn't hear your plan for retirement, and that was to sit around in your underwear reading comic books. But hey, hashtag goals.
But you want to bring up that I haven't seen The Big Lebowski. That's wrong.
But to me, there's some core movies that are part of like the pop culture lexicon that they're not to be missed. They're not to be missed.
In the comments, Hey Archer puts, you were in the circle of trust and now you're out. It's hard to get back in. It's not that deep. I'm sure there's a lot of people who've never seen The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, but they don't tell that on public, or at least not on YouTube. So in any case, tonight's show, we're talking good deeds, celebrity good deeds, the things that actors do offline as a part or out of the true spirit of who they are, as opposed to people who do it for publicity. Because I'm not so sure that some of these aren't just.
Yes.
We're not at your last one, because I kind of think that's a whole publicity stunt. But that's just me.
I don't think. Yeah, I think some people do it for publicity. I think the ones we've mentioned so far, I picked them out specifically because I don't think they were done for publicity.
Okay, but before we go to the last one,
wow,
from the Nerd Affiliate, The Big Lebowski is not even a movie. It is a way of life. The dude abides. I can't even go into words with it. I cannot even go into words. Shut up, Donnie. I cannot. But but you watch it. And here's the thing, Kenny, now you got to watch it with an open mind, because now you're going to be like, well,
you know me,
and I know you can do it because you watched
Goonies
this year. I can't believe you had never seen Goonies until this year.
I'd seen it last year. I seen the Goonies last year.
Oh, that was last year. Okay.
That was last year when I saw the Goonies. And you have to understand something. I like to go against the grain.
No.
Everybody knows this about me. I get an argument with my son and my buddy Damon all the time about superhero movies, because I like to go against the grain. When all the movies that they say suck, I say they're good. And all the movies they say are good, I say they suck.
Okay, elaborate.
So, yes.
What movies do most people say are good, you think suck?
The Batman movies with Kristen Bell.
You don't like them?
I don't like them.
He's not my favorite Batman, but I thought I was on an island with that.
Okay, I can't see The Big Lebowski without paying for it right now, so we're out of luck. It's on Prime. It's on Prime for $3.79. I'm not paying $3.79 to see The Big Lebowski.
Is it Prime? Do you have Prime Video? Like, are you an Amazon Prime?
Yeah, Prime
member?
Video. Prime Video.
Okay.
It's free on Apple. Well, Apple TV. It's on Peacock. I got Peacock.
Oh, you got Peacock, so you can see The Big Lebowski.
I can see The Big Lebowski. I have Peacock. It's not. I'm not.
And
paying
you don't
for
have
it.
to have a White Russian. You can just drink your little whiskey and watch it.
No, I got rum and coke, but it's not like it's Grease 2. Not like it's a classic like Grease 2.
Okay.
You're not going to pay for it. It's not a classic like Grease 2.
Not liking the Dark Knight trilogy isn't a crazy take. Not liking the second movie is wild. Okay.
I like the one with Heath Ledger. But overall, I don't like Kristen Bell's Batman. Because I'm a big Batman fan from the books that I've been reading since the 70s. And Kristen Bell's Batman, I would rather watch George Clooney's Batman than Kristen Bell's Batman.
Ouch. Shots fired.
Yes. I don't like the way Christopher Nolan.
I'm not crazy about George Clooney's Batman. Actually, the only Batman is Michael Keaton, but okay.
Yeah, but I don't like the way Christopher Nolan handled the character. It's not even Christian Bale's fault.
Okay.
It's Nolan's fault for handling the character the wrong way. But let's get back to.
So now, again, you can't blame. Backtrack about 40 minutes ago, so you can't blame Sandra Bullock for playing a part or for having a character that you didn't necessarily like. Because it could have been she's just following the director's guidance or following what the script says. I'm just saying.
All right, Kathy, let's get something straight here. Let's get something straight. I am your crazy little brother, and I say things out my butt easily.
Okay.
And you can't call me on what I said a half hour ago to what I said now. That's not fair.
All right. It is what it is. Let's move on to your list of celebrity good deeds while we wind down.
Tom Cruise. Let's talk about Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
One time witnessed a car accident. And he went to help the lady at the car accident. He called 911 for this lady. Went with her to the hospital. The lady happened to be an out-of-work actress. Now, technically, he should have gave her a job. But he didn't.
That would have been nice.
That would have been nice. So, but in any event,
that would have been a good deed.
That would have been a good deed. But she was in this car accident. She had to go to the hospital. She had a $7,000 bill because he stayed around and found out that this woman did not have health insurance like a lot of people in America. And he paid her $7,000 hospital bill.
Which for him is pocket change. I mean,
we don't know that. You can be broke.
Really? No, I think people did go out to see that latest Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, he's not broke.
And even those I'm not like a fan of. I'm like,
I haven't really seen. I think I've seen one of them. I think I want to go back.
I might have tapped out at the second one.
I might go back and want to watch the Mission Impossible movies. It just like I want to watch the James Bond movies from when the last
Sean
guy
Connery?
not Sean Connery. Who's the last guy did
it? Pierce Brosnan or Daniel
him.
Craig. Daniel
Craig. I heard when Daniel Craig takes over, those James Bond movies are really good. So I might want to start with Daniel Craig's James Bond movies and work my way up. Because I heard those movies are good.
Okay.
I want to watch the Mission Impossibles because I did watch one, but didn't really stick with me. So I think I watched parts of one. So it didn't really stick with me. So I want to watch those and try to get into it. But I do have the Big Lebowski on tap. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. Who knows? Could it be rain? Could it be snow? All depending on the weather.
All right. It's one of those cult classics, and on the first watch, it might not resonate, but
they mentioned
Buscemi is great in it. John Goodman, Jeff Bridges. It's got tons of great quotable lines.
They referenced this movie in one of my favorite movies, Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
So that's a reason enough for me to watch it. It's referenced.
There you go.
In a superhero movie.
Would you say Avengers Endgame is on the spectrum as being one of the greatest superhero movies?
Wow. That is a loaded question. Yeah, I'm sure Nerd Affiliate is going to disagree with me in anything I say in this instance. Avengers Endgame is up there in the greatest superhero movies.
I wasn't crazy about Endgame.
Endgame was dynamic. I think the problem with Marvel now is that Endgame was so good
Hard
that
to top
Marvel
it.
can't come up with something to match it. So if you notice, all the Marvel movies that come out after Endgame have not been received so well. So that's what I think the problem is. Endgame was so good. When he says Avengers Assemble at the end, that was everything. I mean, I was in the movie. That whole scene, that whole fight scene when Captain America, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Endgame, this is spoiler alert because I talk. But Captain America picks up the hammer and beats the crap out of Thanos with the hammer. That is everything. And when Captain America's sitting there, the whole army comes at him, and they're ready, and Captain America's ready to take on his whole army. And he hears on the left, Cap on the left, and Sam comes out. Wakanda, all of Wakanda come out. Like every brother in Wakanda was ready to fight. And then all the other people come out, and you see Spider-Man come out, and the other Guardians come out, and they're doing all the circles and everything, and everybody starts to come out. That was iconic. And he goes, Avengers! And everybody's pauses. He goes, Assemble. Ah! That was one of the best scenes in comic book movies ever. Ever.
I would probably put the first Black Panther movie up there is one of my favorites. Also, the original Superman, and I'm talking Christopher Reeve's Superman, only because how many different movies? I think that was one of the first movies I went to where the true spirit of the movie, the first time he goes into a phone booth or changes into, or I guess he tries to do a phone booth, but modern times. But when he first changes into the Superman costume and just the response from the audience, I just remember seeing that movie. I think it was in Westmont, New Jersey. But in any event, it left such an impression on me, such a memory.
Now that we're talking about superhero movies, I want to tell about somebody else who gave back and who was a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, is it Bosman or Boseman?
Boseman. Chadwick Boseman, a man who we didn't know this, but was dying of cancer. He knew this, but he didn't even tell actors on his set, because one of the movies that he did, the war movie that he did for Netflix, at Spike Lee joint, one of the actors, the wife asked him, how's it working with him? And he said, oh, it's pretty cool. He's he's a nice guy and all, but he's kind of pampered. And after he died, he said, I didn't realize that they were probably pampering him because he was struggling with the cancer to make this movie. And when he did Black Panther, he had cancer.
But that's just a lesson to you too, because the perception from the outside is, oh, he's getting all the special attention or he's being pampered. But that's just a lesson for us, just for every day, because you don't know what people are dealing with or what people are going through. So again, I think we always have to be mindful of what we say and what we throw out there, because again, you don't know everybody's struggle.
Yeah, and even the internet kind of squashed him down because he did something on the internet or took a picture and he was real skinny, and people, oh, he must be on drugs or he must be doing this, but he was actually really sick. But while he was sick, this is what he did. He would go to hospitals and spend time with other kids with cancer. No one knew that he had it himself, but he would spend time with other kids with cancer. So to me, he was doing a good deed because he was a hero to these kids when they saw him on the movies and whatever, and he's trying to uplift these kids as he's dying himself.
Yeah.
So we have to put that up there with the good deeds.
All right. So
let's talk about
this
LeBron James.
I'm sorry. Oh, you got more. Okay, because we're at our hour.
I know
so
we're over time. I know.
I know, but we have to cut it down. So
we can edit it down for the radio. But let's talk about LeBron James because, as we
very
know,
quickly,
LeBron James, yes, opened up his school.
Wait, you gotta repeat all of that because none of it came through. Your sound was going out.
Okay, let's talk about LeBron James. Yes, let's talk about LeBron James, who opened up the school with his money and with his time. Yes, he might make a profit from the school, but the deed of this is that he cared enough about the education of the youth to do this. So much so that Anderson .Paak had to write a song about it called King James. There is a lot other celebrities that we didn't get a chance to get to. There's tons of celebrities we did not get a chance to get to. But
we just wanted to hit on a few.
Yes.
What are we talking about next week?
Next week, we are talking about interracial couples in TV and movies and TV, black and white. We're talking about the interracial couples. And of course, we're going to talk about one of my favorite movies, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Of course.
Of course, we're going to talk about Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? A legendary cast. Sidney Poitier, Katharine Hepburn, Spencer Tracy, Isabel Sanford. It's just an awesome movie all around. So we're going to talk about that, of course.
Of course. Of course. And that will be next Saturday night, 8:30. Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. Thank all of our pop culture kids for hanging out. Steve, as always, in the chat. And Hey Archer, Nerd Affiliate. Definitely check that out.
Nerd Affiliate. I just want to say something. My favorite interracial couple is Hawkgirl and Jon Stewart, which is only in the Justice League cartoon. It's not in comic books. It's only in the Justice League cartoon. But that is a good couple, an interracial couple. But does that count since she's an alien?
Okay, we're just doing interracial, not interspecies.
So no Captain Kirk.
No, Captain Kirk and Uhura is fine. Captain Kirk and like the green woman, no. Because, Captain Kirk was always getting alien punani.
Yeah. Well, that was his job.
So we got to go because I've used punani. We're here every Saturday night, 8:30. Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week. Peace.
God bless your soul and keep living. Peace. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.
Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. Please check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. We are there all the time. I'm going to sign off now, and I'm going to be back a little bit later on.
I haven't ended the stream. I can still hear